Hello, it's Nikki, and welcome back to Thursday, where I talk about your future self. And maybe you're thinking quite a bit about this as we come to the end of this year and this doesn't happen for me. I've already got lots of things in the diary for 2025. And that feels really good to me. It feels exciting. It feels expansive. It feels like I've got things to look forward to. And a couple of really great things in January, which I really like as well. It's interesting how those things change over the years, but I'm excited about 2025. I want to talk about standards today. And this has come from an episode that I heard this week with Leila and Alex Hormozi. And it really gave me so much food for thought. It didn't necessarily make me want to replicate everything that they were doing, because in my life I have a different set of circumstances and some of their goals are not my goals. It's just being honest about that. But I tell you what was more interesting, where I was holding back, where I wasn't working hard enough, where I was telling myself a story, where I thought that I was doing certain things and actually could do better. So I really took these tools, and it was the epitome of how could these things work for me? How could I turn them around and question them in my own life? And I think sometimes if people are sharing from a different perspective that you have on life, you might suddenly dismiss it and just say, oh, well, that's not going to work for me. That's not going to work for me. No. They're different, or they live in America, or whatever the thing is. And actually, I did the opposite. I did the good self-development thing, which was, how can these things work for me? And I got some really great answers. So I've got a few journaling points for you today. And I would love you to explore them and look at them in terms of your standards and your progress. And remember, we're not going for perfection here. I'm not saying that you're going to do all of these things each and every day for the rest of your life, otherwise you're not serious. That conversation doesn't necessarily happen around here. We're human beings, figuring it out as we go. If we're caring for people, we have to be nimble sometimes and make sure that they are taken care of. We are not just a one-woman show going through this. So we're not kind of trying to get everything to a perfect place. We are, however, looking to perhaps increase our average or really see what we're made of. And I'm excited to share these with you. So the first thing that I came away with was I really listened to my feelings. And that's great when they're based on intuition or how good something feels, or if somebody shares with me an idea, I really pay attention to my body. If I just go, oh, yeah, that sounds really great, I know that it's probably going to be a good thing. Whereas if sorry for the noisy motorbike, or if I just kind of retract and be like, I mean, it could be, if I'm in that place, it's not helping me. It's not helping me move forward. So on a positive note, those things really help me. But where I get stuck is when I try and create perfect conditions, or I need to feel 10 out of 10. Sometimes I don't. I need to feel 7 out of 10 to do the thing and get the thing done. And so that was very revealing for me as I went through it. Number 2, the stories you tell yourself. It is time to experiment, to examine, and to explore your stories that are going on and living in your head. Many of which are false, or they're outdated, or they were given to you by somebody else and you just haven't realized it. They've been a product of your environment, and logically, everything about that, you know better. You found another way. You figured it out. And this has been interesting as I've gone through this, is the stories that sometimes have been hanging about don't belong to me. They're the opposite to what my beliefs are, or they're the opposite to how I would parent or how I would support my child. And so why am I not doing that with myself? Interesting. Number 3, do you actually want it and what it entails? Now, the internet does a great job of showing us what's possible. You can have it in the palm of your hand. Look at this person. He was this and now he's this. And it all happened overnight, in a fortnight, very, very quickly, with no help, no support, no resources, just mindset. Like we've heard all of those conversations. Most things that we strive for in life, in business, whether it's a feeling, it's a daily, regular practice. Even if you are happy in your marriage, for example, there are often times in a marriage or a long-term relationship where you have to come back together and go, where are we up to? How are we, what's going on? Because that's life. I do that with parenting sometimes where I think, oh wow, I'm not being clear here, or this approach that I'm taking is not working. It's time to look at different things. And I think that when you sign up to make a dream come true, you have to be willing to be open to what it actually entails. And sometimes you do not know what it is going to entail. Like when you bring your baby home, if you've had children, from hospital. That first night with my son, it was like, wow, we're not in pregnancy land anymore. We're not in talking about things, thinking about things. We are in full-on parenting. We are in figuring it out because I'm committed to the dream of taking care of this baby. And I think that many of us, myself included, sometimes fall in love with the idea of the dream. And then when it is not happening, or if it's not moving quick enough, we put the blame on something else. Or we say, maybe it's not meant for me, or if it was meant for me, it would be easy, or all of these things. And actually, most of the things that we want are going to require a different version of ourselves where we step up and we do the thing. Number 4, I don't have a more articulate way of saying this, I'm afraid. Clean up the crap. With the raising of the standards, this was really apparent to me. And we're all so busy. We're all go, go, go. We don't feel like we have time to stop. But it's only when we take a closer look. And this could be anything from opening your fridge going, oh my God, how long has that thing been at the back of the fridge? It's time to get rid of it. Or why do I trip over that thing on my stairs every single day? Or there's no system to this part of the house and we are all scrabbling looking for this same thing every single morning and it's becoming a whole thing. In order to raise your standards, in order to reach those goals, in order to become that version of your future self that you would like, we have to clean up the crap. The stuff that slows you down. It feels so physical to me. Clean it up, get rid of it, open the windows, give your desk a wipe, turn your laptop off at night so it absolutely rests. Clean up your bedside table, notice what you notice. All of these little things have an impact on the way that you're showing up. And if you're that person, and we've all been to those meetings where people are like, hi, sorry, I'm late. And then they have this bag and then they have to tip it all out because they can't find the thing. And like, it's so stressful. And actually, it's so unnecessary. If you can come back to saying, okay, I know I'm busy, but for the next 2 hours, I need to dedicate cleaning up some stuff. And I know that there's lots of things that I want to do in this house. Do I have 5 days to do it without any work? No, I don't. So I'm having to fit it in. But it's like 15 minutes here, do this. Don't leave it until tomorrow. All of these things. You're probably like, yeah, I do that already, Nikki. I'm really clean and tidy and I just get stuff done. Great. If that is you, brilliant. But I'm sure there may be areas of your life that are floating and could do with a clean up or a tightening or something like that. Number 5, when you go to the next level, when you are working towards raising your standards, your mind will play tricks on you, because your mind does not like to be unsafe. It does not like to feel the unknown. And it will start saying things like, well, it's all right for them. It will probably work for them. It would never work for me. And that is the thing about most human beings, is that we are incredibly special and unique. And equally, we are not special and unique at all. We are all capable of doing lots of different things, way more than we want to. And when I went back to running, I started with Couch to 5K. If you are interested in running, I can highly recommend that. It is brilliant. But I tell you what, my mind played tricks on me, like, oh, it won't work for me, or oh, I don't know, or what if I'm the only one who can't? I mean, come on. And so my whole battle was actually not running. It was turning down the volume of my head telling me I couldn't do it. And the whole premise of Couch to 5K is, if you follow the process, if you do what it tells you to do, the likelihood is by the end you will be able to run 5K. And you know what? It's true. I've done it. My mum's done it. My mum's friend's done it. My other friend has done it. These things are possible. And our mind wants to overcomplicate a process. It wants to elevate us to I'm so special, I'm so this. It's not the case. You are incredibly brilliant and special, and equally you can do way more than you think you can. Even though, as you're watching this, everything in your head might be like, I mean, how am I going to find the time to do that? How? I'm so whatever. If now is not the time to do growth in your life and your business, fine, I get it. Sometimes there are those moments where you just need to get your head down and go through the day. But I'm talking about those windows where you're mindlessly scrolling, or you're doing something, or you're wandering about, going to the shops for something to do, or we've all been there in that situation. So what does raising your standards look and feel like to you now? What do you need to do in terms of taking action? And what do your new standards look like in 2025? I would love to know, and I would love to help and support you with that. Come on over to my Work With Me page, send me a message, let's book in a call, and let's get cracking. Lots of love. Bye.